The previous owner of this spindle sander simply gave it to me because it's not fully functioning. You can see when I turn it on that the spindle does turn, however it does not oscillate how it's supposed to. Upon closer inspection, I was able to determine that the reason it does not oscillate anymore is because this gear has been stripped out. This gear is just made out of nylon and it goes up against a steel screw. So when the lubrication ran out, the nylon screw stripped out. So in order to fix that, I have a replacement gear which I will be putting in now. Now if you are planning on doing this, I highly suggest taking off the cover before you start this. It's a lot easier and you'll have much easier access to everything. To start, I'm going to try and remove the entire spindle by using an Allen key in this hole here to undo this screw. With the screws out of the shaft that connects it to these metal plates, it seems there's another screw right here that connects this block to the shaft. I believe if I remove this screw, I will be able to slide this block out and then remove the shaft. And you can see the screw did come out. It appears there was some sort of Loctite on it, which would explain why it was difficult to take out. With the screws out, I should just be able to pull this off. And they don't come off too difficultly. You can see there's a keyway on this block, which fits into the keyway on the shaft. Because I don't need the nylon gear anymore, I'm going to try and break it and see if I can pry it off. I have it broken, and now I just have to get it fully pried off. You can see here that I have managed to chip away some of the gear. I will continue and see if I can get the full thing off. I've gotten the entire old gear off, and now I plan to try and push out the shaft so that I can replace the gear. Now I have the shaft shifted over to one side, as you can see. There's a small little rivet thing that holds in the gear, and now I can take it out with a pair of pliers. And you can see that here. That will allow me to slide this shaft out. The shaft is now fully to one side, and I have room to put the new gear in here. I can now put the new gear in and get it seated generally in the right spot. And then I can push the shaft so that it will line up with it. I am now able to hammer this back in. I'm about halfway there. I need to line up this hole with this hole. I am now lightly tapping the rivet in order to get it lined up with the hole in the nylon thread. Fully aligned, I can now take the pin out and finish hammering in the shaft. I have the pin in place and everything is all set up, so now I can go and attach all the screws to the ends. I now have these pieces attached back together, and I can screw them. I can put the locking screws on. I can now attach these plates back to the shaft. This is what actually makes the spindle oscillate. In order to test it out without running at full power, I have connected a drill to the shaft, which is through a hole of my workbench. And now I can trigger it and see that everything is actually working perfectly. You can see how these cams cause it to go up and down, and how this interacts with the other screw. Bring back, which is the proper way that it goes, to hook in like that. Now I can reattach the case and turn it on and see if it works. Alright, I have it flipped over. I'm going to turn it on for the first time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Let's go! Alright, so it seems to be working pretty well. I can put a piece of sand or a sanding disc on it and try it out. I'm super excited. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe.